Hey guys, welcome to Awesome Sauce Love. So today is the day before Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo, guys. All right, so in lieu of Cinco de Mayo, I have some mussels. I have like a seafood boil, but it's mussels. The mussels. I have shrimp and I have corn on the cob, and I also have a strawberry margarita and some butter sauce that I made. I went everywhere today and yesterday looking for a sombrero, but I couldn't find one. Like, I don't understand why the stores aren't stocking up for Cinco de Mayo stuff. Like, no store that I went to had anything, so all I have today is a visor. I was a football mom today. My son actually started football practice already, and I was out there with him today. So I'm going to start off with some shrimp. Then we'll talk about this whole, is it Tiffany Moss trial. That is really good. Like, I didn't do beloved sauce today because I didn't have any more onions. Like, I ran out of onions and I was not trying to go back to the store. So I just did a simple butter sauce. I did 2 sticks of butter, a whole lemon cut up, garlic powder, lemon pepper, garlic, paprika, Old Bay seasoning, Creole seasoning, and cayenne pepper. This is really good. That. Have to do that again. Have to definitely do that again. That is good. That's some good stuff right there. So what you guys been up to? I missed you yesterday. I know we committed to a Friday date, but I was so tired when I got off work yesterday. Like, exhausted. This week has been a really tiring week for me. That is some good stuff right there. I'm going to do one more. Actually, I want to do a mussel, and then I'll do a shrimp. That sauce is freaking awesome. That is some awesome sauce right there. I'm going to try it with a little bit of lemon. Put some lemon on there. Kicked it right up. A couple notches, might I add. I'm going to drown this thing in this butter. Lemon butter is good. I need to get a microphone because I want to do some ASMRs. But anywho, I was checking out the Tiffany Moss case, the trial. If you guys aren't familiar with it, she's the girl who killed her stepdaughter in Gwinnett County, Georgia. So, I think she abused the girl and she starved the little girl to death. So, I've only seen part 1 of the trial. It's a really long trial, but wait a minute. Taste this. That's good. Woo! Made that a little strong. I gotta get myself together here, cause whoa. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, wait a minute. It is dripping down my chin and everything. I don't have that long tongue, and I don't have those beloved wristbands or whatever. But so the little girl, when she was about 6, a piece of corn slid right down my throat, guys. But I think the little girl would be like, I think her 15th birthday was on the 3rd of this month, and the abuse was noticed by school administrators and employees when she was about 6. So she came to school after her stepmom had beat her with a belt all over her body 5 minutes before school. I'm sorry, guys. That corn just slid right down my throat. Beat her with a belt all over her body 5 minutes before school because she didn't do her homework in time. Wait a minute. Because she didn't finish her homework in time. So she beat her and she sent her to school with marks all over her body. So about 3 p.m., the police, well, not about 3 p.m., but the police had finished. The police was called while the little girl was in school. And they didn't question her at the school. One of the officers, who was the responding officer, was told by another officer to bring her to the police station for questioning, because they had to be sure that she was viable for questioning. Like, they had to do like spatial recognition, open-ended questions, be able to articulate like knowing right from wrong and things like that. So once she was clear for spatial recognition and things like that, they deemed that it was okay. The police department deemed it was okay to question her or whatever. So they were really careful about the questioning. So they questioned her. They photographed the bruises. And then they called the stepmom about 3 p.m. Stepmom showed up at the police station with her mom at about 6:30 p.m. So they didn't tell her what was going on. They didn't tell her what she was being questioned for, but I think it was suspicious that she didn't know what was going on, but she showed up at the police station with her mom or whatever. So that's one thing that jumped out at me. But then when they questioned Tiffany Moss, who is stepmom, about the bruises and things, she didn't deny it. She said she beat the girl or whatever because she didn't do her homework in time. So they asked about the bruises, and she said the bruises were the way they were because the girl was trying to get away from her and covering her face, and she was still striking her with a belt. That's why the bruises have like the wraparound effect on Imani's skin. So she's in jail on trial, and I believe she got sentenced to the death penalty. So I believe there's going to be like a date set for her death or whatever, her death penalty to be carried out. So tell me, guys, tell me what you guys think about child abuse. Leave it in the comments, and also tell me about what do you think about the death penalty in this country. Leave that in the comments. I would love to know how you guys felt about that. This is so good. Like, I'm so glad I made this. Oh yeah, and then the butter, I put ginger in the butter too. That was really good. But like, Imani's grandma took the stand, and she said that the little girl, Imani, lived with her and her dad for like the first 8 years of Imani's life. It didn't really go into detail much in the first half about Imani's biological mom. I'm not sure where she is, but apparently the dad had custody of her, was raising her, him and his mom, for the first 8 years of her life. And then he met this girl, Tiffany, and they got married. And this whole time, Imani was like thriving or whatever, like kids do. She was thriving. And he met this girl, Tiffany, and they moved out together. They got married, had a baby, and the little girl, Imani, was a gorgeous little girl, immediately started to show signs of abuse. She had really long, pretty hair. So when the abuse happened when she was about 8, Child Protective Services removed her from the home. And she went to go live with her grandmother, which is her dad's mom. So she went to go live with grandmom, and she lived with grandmom for, I think it was like 6 months to a year. She lived with grandmom. In that time, she started thriving once again. Her grades were getting better in school. She wasn't like just abused. You know how kids act when they're abused, like they're standoffish or they act out with rage. She wasn't like that anymore. She was just a normal, regular kid. So about 6 months later, I guess Department of Social Services did like the reunification thing and sent her back to live with her dad and her stepmom. So after that, Imani's grandmother said she hadn't seen her in about 2 years. Not for lack of trying, but because she wasn't allowed by the parents to see her. And then when she tried to go over their heads and see her, she couldn't find them. Like, she couldn't find their phone number, their address, or anything like that. So she said she saw them at like a birthday party for her little brother. So she was invited to a birthday party for her little brother. Well, the grandmother's grandson, which is the son's son with the girl Tiffany. So she got invited to a birthday party for him at Tiffany's mom's house. Not their house, but her mom's house. So she said that Imani looked really thin at the party. So she didn't say anything. She was taking mental notes. She looked a little thin or whatever. And she didn't know what was going on. So she made some attempts to see Imani after the birthday party was finished, like, a while after the party was over. And once again, she couldn't find them because they moved around a lot or whatever. So I'm thinking the reason that they moved around a lot is because they was abusing Imani, or she was abusing Imani, and the school probably was finding out, noticing, and saying something. So they probably moved, transferred her, things like that. The things that abusive parents usually do. So, that's dripping all down my chin. I'm gonna leave this in the butter. That is some good stuff. So she said the next time she saw Imani was on Mother's Day. So she said they had a Mother's Day celebration with Tiffany's parents, herself, and Tiffany and her son. And Imani had Tiffany had two kids with Imani's dad. So she had a baby brother, and she also at that time had a new baby sister. So Imani's grandmother said that when she saw Imani, she was really shocked because Imani looked more than a little thin. Now, mind you, the last time she saw her, she looked a little thin, but this time she was even thinner. She said that you could see her shoulder blades through her shirt and her skin, which was really weird. And she also said that all of Imani's hair was cut off. Now, mind you, Imani had really long, beautiful ponytails, and all of her hair was cut off. So she said, she asked Imani, what happened to your hair? And she said, when you act ugly, she said, I was told when you act ugly, you have to be ugly. You have to look ugly. So she cut my hair, and which is heartbreaking. And then she said that was the last time she saw Imani because after that she was dead. I think the girl beat and starved her to death and then threw her body in a dumpster, which is horrible. So, I don't know. People are crazy out here. Everybody's not meant to be a parent. And everybody's not meant to be around children. Everybody don't have those maternal or paternal instincts. And people need to realize that. And the sooner people realize that, the better. Because these crazy people out here will kill your children. And wouldn't give a second thought about how you feel or the trauma they're putting these kids through, or that these kids actually have to grow up and live with the memory of being abused or not grow up at all. Like the horror that these kids endure every day. Like, when I was looking at the video of Tiffany Moss in the courtroom, she was smiling. She was smirking. At some points, it looked like she appeared to be holding back laughs because her shoulders was like jumping up and down or whatever. I'm just really shocked at the fact that She did this to this girl. Like, I'm full, y'all. Like, the grandmother has to be beating herself up because right before Imani died, she had Imani, and social services gave her back to her dad and her stepmom. So she has to be feeling some type of way, or feeling like she could have done more to save Imani. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you see something, say something. If nobody hears you or follows through, take that child. I've taken a child from a parent before. Like, she was a friend of mine and I took her from her for 2 years. Like, you can't have her back until you can show me that you can be a real parent type of situation. Take that child, and you as an adult deal with the ramifications from that, because the moment you help that child out, you probably have saved a life, because people these days are crazy. Not trying to make this a somber Cinco de Mayo, but this case just happened to fall in my lap around the time of Cinco de Mayo. So peace and love, and every opportunity you have in a day to make it great, be great. Peace out.